Hello all, I welcome you to this module. So in this module, we are going to solve a few questions on adjectives, articles and prepositions. Let's get started. So we will first look at a few common mistakes that we make in using adjectives in a sentence. So let's check the first sentence. I am not interested in the movie. Well, that's a wrong usage. The right sentence is, I am not interested in the movie. Let's check the explanation. Why is it interested and not interesting? So, many adjectives are formed by adding ed and ing to a verb. So, when an adjective ends with ing, it describes the effect of a thing or a person. Likewise, when an adjective ends with ed, it describes how the person feels. In the example above, the movie is a thing that doesn't interest you. Therefore, the movie is not interesting to you. In other words, you are not interested in the movie. I hope I made that clear. The next sentence is, that is a French white old house. So, the right answer is, that is an old white French house. Why is that so? Because this is the order that we must follow when you have multiple descriptions about a noun. So, house is the noun here, and these adjectives, when you have multiple adjectives in front of a noun to describe that noun, you follow this order. That is, you first place determiner, then opinion, then size, then age, then shape, color, origin, material and purpose. So, therefore, see we have an, which is a determiner, right. Then we have old, which is an opinion, or you can also get it as the age. Well, it is an old house, okay. Then you have white, which is the color. Then you have French, which is the origin, and then you have the noun. So, this is how you describe it. So, this is the order in which you describe a noun. Whereas, if you see the first sentence, what they have done is, French is origin, white is color, old is someone's opinion, or you can also say age, and then you have the noun. So, this is the wrong order. This is not the right order. This is the order that we must follow. The next sentence is, he is more stronger than his opponent. What's the right sentence? What's the right usage? He is stronger than his opponent. Why is that so? Because you don't add more or less to a comparative degree. In previous classes or modules, you would have already learnt about adjectives and its comparative degrees. You have comparative degree and superlative degree, the various degrees of adjectives, right? You must have learnt that. So, by now you should know that you don't compare a comparative degree, okay. So, you don't say more stronger or less stronger. So, if you want to use more, make sure that you do not use a comparative degree or a superlative degree in front of that, I mean after that. So, you either say more strong or you say stronger, because stronger means more stronger, sorry, stronger means more strong. So, let me repeat that point again. The explanation is that you do not add more or less to comparative degrees. So, you either say more strong or stronger, but not more stronger. So, if you use more stronger, that will be a wrong usage. I hope I made that clear. Now, the next sentence, you are the most perfect person I have ever seen. What's the right usage? You are the perfect person I have seen. Why? because some adjectives are complete and absolute by itself. So you don't have to compare it again, or there is no further degree to that. So we call such adjectives absolute or non-gradable adjectives. So you cannot add any words to intensify or grade them further because they are already in their superlative degrees. Okay? And what are the examples of such words? So perfect is one such example. There are few more examples. Please make a note of that. Supreme, wonderful, horrible, brilliant, final, obvious, unique, absolute, complete, ideal, preferable, dead, etc. So with these words, you don't add most in front of that. Why? Because it's already in its superlative degree. It's already in its absolute form. Okay, so I hope I made that clear. The fifth sentence is, which is the shortest of these two roots? What's the right answer? Or what's the right sentence? Which is the shorter of these two roots? Why? Because when comparing two things, you don't use a superlative degree, but instead you use a comparative degree. So for short, the comparative degree is shorter and superlative degree is shortest. So when there are two things, you use the comparative degree, that is shorter and not shortest. So therefore the right answer is, which is the shorter of these two roots? Okay, so now to make sure that you have understood the concepts, I am giving you a small practice exercise. Can you fix the following adjective errors? The first one is, the pizza today tastes more better than it did yesterday. That's the second is, that's the most impossible challenge yet. Third sentence is, your voice is very unique. Fourth sentence is, I want a simplistic life away from the busy city. Fifth sentence is, he walked into a pole because he is distracted by a or an dash dog. Choose the right option. Adorable, tiny, brown, tiny, adorable, brown, tiny, brown, adorable. So pause the video, work on this, and then I'll show you the answers. You can check it with yours. You can check it with yours. If you have any doubts, please feel free to post your queries in the discussion forum. We will be more than happy to help you with that. Okay. Now, the next section. So we are going to discuss a few common mistakes that second language learners of English often make when they use prepositions in a sentence. Okay. So the first sentence is, my birthday is on July. Well, the right answer is, my birthday is in July. Why? Because for days and dates in English language, you always use a preposition on. For example, it's my birthday on June 2nd. So when you're using a specific date, let's say 2nd of June, then you add on before the date, because you're being specific there. So it's okay to use on. Whereas if you're a little vague about it, like for instance, it's in June, okay? So you are only specifying, you're not specifying, you're just referring to the month. So in that case, you use in, okay? So here the right answer is, my birthday is in July and not on July. However, if you want to say that my birthday is on 2nd of July, you use the preposition on. If you are going to use the date, you are going to add on before the date, and it's not in. You don't say my birthday is in 2nd of July, but you say my birthday is on the 2nd of July. I hope I made that clear. The second sentence is, Ram often goes out in the night. The correct sentence is, Ram often goes out at night. Well, people wake up in the morning, go shopping in the afternoon, meet their families in the evening, but things happen at night. You can use in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but you don't say in the night, but you say at night. Okay? I hope I made that clear. The next sentence is, I have been working for this company since 3 years. And the right sentence is, I have been working for this company for 3 years. So, to describe periods of time, the preposition for is usually used. You can still use since to describe the specific time. For example, I have lived in Boston since March. But here you are not being specific, right? So, and particularly when you are going to refer to a time period, okay, then you use for instead of since. We can also say another example is, we have not talked since our last meeting. The next sentence is, Ram is married with Sita. What's the right sentence? Ram is married to Sita. So, if people have plans to get married, the preposition to will be used. For example, my friend Lena is getting married to Anil next month. However, you just marry someone. Example, Geeta is marrying her fitness coach. You don't say Geeta is married with her fitness coach. What's the right sentence there? Geeta is marrying her fitness coach. And Lena is getting married to Anil. The next sentence is, where is my phone at? What's the right answer? What's the right sentence? Where is my phone? So, it is considered poor grammar to end a sentence with a preposition. So, while this point has been argued at length, since it may sound better to end a sentence with a preposition, in some cases it is still considered grammatically incorrect. So, the golden rule is that you don't end a sentence with a preposition. So, that is generally considered poor grammar. The next sentence is, she looked like she was tired. And what's the right answer, or what's the right sentence? She looked as though she was tired. So, using the phrase like very liberally will make your writing sound very sloppy. So, instead you may use pronouns such as if or as though. So, instead of using she looked like she was tired, you may use she looked as though she was tired. The next sentence is, they arrived to the school. The right answer is, they arrived at the school. So, arrived is always followed by the preposition at. You say arrived at, you don't say arrived to. Okay. Similarly, seventh sentence, if you see, it is, we went at the mall. What's the right answer, or what's the right sentence? We went to the mall. So, went is followed by to. You don't say went at, you say went to. So, you say arrive at and went to. Okay. So, misusing the word at and to is another preposition error that happens very frequently. At refers to where things are and to describes another location. So, mixing these two up can result in a very confusing sentence. I hope I made that clear, both 6 and 7. So, the 8th question is, I am afraid sharks. And the right sentence is, I am afraid of sharks. Similarly, we will check the next sentence as well, and then I will give you the explanation. The 9th sentence is, I made sure to study my exam. What's the right sentence? I made sure to study for my exam. So, in the previous question and this question, from this one can say that prepositions most often follow a noun or a pronoun to create a cohesive sentence. However, there are exceptions that also require a preposition in order to make sense. For example, you say afraid of, love of, concern for, study for, and worry about. If you do not follow these with a preposition, your sentence will sound very absurd and may not make any sense. The 10th sentence is, I slept before run. And what's the right sentence? I slept before running. Why? One of the less common errors people make when using a preposition is following it with a verb. If you follow a preposition with a verb, it must have an ing added to it at the end. So therefore, you don't say I slept before run, you say I slept before running. So the verb here is run and the preposition is before. So after the preposition before, the verb run comes, right? So this is the verb, this is the preposition. So if preposition is followed by a verb, it will have ing form. Okay? It must be used in its ing form. Therefore, you say I slept before running and not I slept before run. Okay? So now comes a quick practice exercise. So from so far whatever we have learned from both adjectives and articles, I have framed 5 questions. Please answer them, pause the video, answer them, and then I'll show you the answers. So the first question is, for her daughter's birthday, she made a or an dash dollhouse. Option A, cute wooden yellow. Option B, wooden yellow cute. Option C, cute yellow wooden. The second sentence is, his car is superior than mine. The third sentence is, John was just on time to catch the taxi. The fourth sentence is, meet the board members in the office. The fifth sentence is, the player died from leukemia. Work on these questions, pause your video. Okay. Now the right answer is cute yellow wooden. His car is superior to mine. You don't say superior than, but superior to. John was just in time. You don't say on time here. Meet the board members at the office. We had discussed a similar question, right? Yeah. When we use at in a sentence. Yes, we did discuss. The player died of leukemia. You don't say died from. Okay. So if you have any doubts and if you need explanations to these, please raise your doubts in the discussion forum and I'll be more than happy to clear them. Let's now go to the section on articles. So the first question or the first sentence is, I am doctor specialized in neurology. What's the right sentence? I am a doctor specialized in neurology. What's the rule? Why is that so? There is a rule, and the rule says always put a or an before a singular common noun. So doctor is a singular common noun, and therefore you cannot say I am doctor, I am teacher. You say I am a teacher or you say I am a doctor. Okay. So this is the rule, this is important. Okay. Always put a or an before a singular common noun. Okay. Now the second sentence. Ravi studies at an university. What's the right answer or what's the right sentence? Ravi studies at a university. Why so? Because you always use a before a consonant sound and an before a vowel sound. So here, please don't go by the vowel letters. Okay. So if you go by vowel letters, you will get confused. You will. So the general rule, that we have studied in school is to see if the word starts with A, E, I, O, U. If that's the case, you use an before that, right? But that's not the right way to look at it. Because if you go by that rule, then an is supposed to precede university, right? But that's wrong. Here you need to make a distinction between vowel sound and consonant sound. So here university, what's the first sound of the word university? It's not oo, it's u, ya, ya is the sound. So ya is a consonant sound, it's not a vowel sound. So an follows, an comes before vowel sounds and a comes before consonant sounds. And because university starts with the consonant sound here, you use a. It's a university and not an university. Okay, I hope I made that clear. The next sentence is, Savitri has best voice I have ever heard. What's the right sentence? Savitri has the best voice I have heard. Why? Why? Because you should always put the before the superlative degree. So therefore, see what's the superlative degree here? Best, good, better, best. These are the 2 degrees, right? So best is the superlative degree here. So you should put the before the superlative degree. So therefore you say Savitri has the best voice I have heard and not Savitri has best voice I have ever heard. Okay, I hope I made that clear. The next sentence is, I need advice from you about joining yoga class. What's the right sentence? I need advice from you about joining yoga class. Why? Because advice is a uncountable noun. What's an uncountable noun? Something that cannot be counted. So advice cannot be counted, and in English it's classified under uncountable nouns. So you don't use a before a uncountable noun. So therefore you say, I need advice from you about joining yoga class. Do not put a or an before uncountable nouns. This is the rule. However, one important point that I want you to note is that idea is considered countable in English language. Okay. Advice is classified as uncountable, whereas idea is classified into countable nouns. Therefore, you may say I need an idea. Okay. You don't say I need idea. Need idea will be wrong, whereas need an idea will be the right sentence. Okay. So keep that in mind. The next sentence is, the teachers should not punish their students. And what's the right sentence? Teachers should not punish their students. So when you generalize plurals, make sure that you use no article. So you are generalizing here, right? So therefore you don't use this article, so you are generalizing. You are talking about teachers as a collective union, okay? So teachers should not punish their students. You don't say the teachers should not punish their students. Here you are generalizing the plural. You don't use an article before generalizing plurals. The next sentence is, Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. What's the right sentence? The Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Why? Because you use the with oceans, rivers, valleys, deserts, mountain ranges and points on globe. But please make a note of this, that you should not use the with the following places. I am going home. You don't say I am going to the home. She is at work. You don't say she is at the work. He is in jail. You don't say he is in the jail. It's a very common error. He is in the jail. You don't say that, okay? He is in jail. My kids went to bed. You don't say my kids went to the bed. My brother is in high school. You don't say my brother is in the high school. My sister is in college. Okay, so remember these words: home, work, jail, bed, high school, college. You don't use the in front of these places. Okay, great. Now, now make a note of the places where you should use the compulsorily. Now, make a note of the words where you should use the. I went to the bank. Let's go to the movies. He gets home from the office around 7. My grandparents is in the hospital. I'll stop by the post office after lunch. I got a taxi to the airport. I'll pick you up at the train station. We are waiting at the bus stop. He took my son to the doctor. I'm going to the dentist this afternoon. So, you use the in front of bank, movies, office, hospital, post office, airport, train station, bus stop, doctor, dentist. Okay? Please make a note of these. Now, from what we have learned, let's quickly do a practice exercise. Can you fix the following errors? First sentence is, the spiders have 8 legs. Second, we live in village. Third, she is fastest runner. Fourth, the Paris is a big city. Fifth, the iron is a useful metal. Pause the video, work on these sentences and I'll show you the answers. Okay. What's the right answer to the first sentence? Spiders have 8 legs. Second is, we live in a village. Third sentence is, she is the fastest runner, the fastest runner. Fourth sentence is, Paris is a big city. Fifth sentence is, iron is a useful metal. I hope you got them right. If not, just go back to the basics and quickly revise the rules. If you have any doubts, please put up your doubts or please raise your queries in the discussion forum. We will be more than happy to help you out with those questions. So, with that we come to the end of the session. I will meet you with a different module on a different date. Until then, stay safe, take care, bye.